All right, we're going to turn the machine to a zigzag, and I'm gonna leave it the stitch width alone, but I'm gonna increase the stitch length to a 2. And I'm just going to start back at the back tag area. I'm gonna take out that first pin, and what I wanna do is I wanna lower my needle, and I'm gonna look at the opening in the foot. The opening in the foot should be in line with the edge of the fabric. So that'll make my zigzag run close to the edge. Just like when I was sewing the elastic in place, I'm gonna wanna pull from the back and from the front so that the fabric doesn't get caught in there. All right, so as I go here, just want to keep that opening of the foot, the little slit, in line with the edge of the fabric. And I chose a red thread just to give it a little pop of color, kind of going with the red, white, and blue theme. But you'll probably want to choose a thread color that corresponds well with your fabric, or maybe blends in or hides. That way you don't really see the thread, it's just kind of hidden in there, okay? Okay, at the end I gave it just a little zigzag to kind of secure the ends. What I'm gonna do now is work on the hem. So I'm just taking one of the legs. The leg has to be open so that we don't accidentally serge it closed. And I am going to raise my presser foot just slightly so I can slide the fabric under. For this, I don't want to trim off any of the excess fabric. I just want to serge the edge, so I'm going to keep it in line with the curve of the foot. It's also in line with the silver metal plate over on the side. So at first, it's going to take a second for me to get on track, okay? Once I'm on track, what you want to make sure that you're doing is that you're only stitching through one layer. Don't ever get the other fabric from underneath stuck in there, okay? So you're just gonna go in a complete circle around. And you do wanna make sure you catch the edge securely, because the whole purpose of this serge is so that your hem does not come unraveled, your fabric does not come unraveled. So what you're going to do here, once you get to the end, you'll kind of overlap, and then you have to be in control to veer it off. So I'll show you what you can do there. So when those 2 points intersect, and I can just pull it off to the side. Okay, so that's not the most beautiful finish, but this is all going to be turned under in just a minute, so we'll sew over that part anyway and secure it with our hem. So I'm going to repeat that step on the other leg. We're going to work on the bottom hems now of both legs. So what you'll want to do is you will want to fold the shorts so that they are wrong side out. You'll slide one of the legs over the narrow part of the ironing board. You're going to have your seam gauge set to 1 inch, and you'll just fold up the leg. Make sure you've already serged the edge before you do this. So I'm just going to line up my seam gauge, make sure that I've got it folded up 1 inch. Okay, and once it is in the right spot, then I will iron it. So we're just going to press it down, and then I like to just put a couple pins in so that it doesn't move around too much between now and the time that we go to the machine, but you don't need too many pins for this part. Okay, so then I just kind of twirl it around the edge, rotate it around. It just slides on that arm. Measure another area to see that it's 1 inch. This was a little narrow. 1 inch. Okay, and then press. So you'll just repeat that process all the way around both of the legs. All right, we're just going to put a hem in now. So I'm going to switch my machine back to a 1 and just a normal 2.5 standard stitch length. I am going to slide the edge of the machine off, the arm off, so it makes it easier to slide the edge of the pants over. I'm going to start where the crotch seam is on the inside here. And I'm just going to line the edge of the opening of the foot up with the edge of the pant, and that should give me about the 1/8 top stitch that I want to have away from the edge. We'll repeat the same process for the other leg. Technically at this point your shorts are finished. However, there's one other step you can do that's optional, and that is to put in a top stitch along the bottom edge. And so again, this is just optional. I kind of like it. It gives it a more finished look, and I'm going to do that now, but you do not have to do this. So for this, I'm going to turn the machine to a 2. And I'm going to line the edge of my fabric up with, there's a little indentation on the foot. When you're looking at this foot, there's an indentation in the center and there's one to the right. I'm going to line it up with the one on the right. I actually want to start right at that center leg seam. All right, just to give you an idea of what the difference is between the two finishes, with or without the extra top stitching. So they both look fine, really, but it's just up to you whether you want to add that extra detail. So this leg over here has that extra detail, and the one over on this side only has the one hem going around.